Again, we were saying yesterday, good morning, Shifré Haran Yud Tet. Yesterday we were speaking how Rabbeinu HaKadosh as a child would go to the kever of the Baal Shem Tov in the middle of the night. And on the kever of the Baal Shem Tov, he would spend a long time there. It was outside, completely freezing winter of the Ukrainian winter, which we understand what it is in Canada. And then he would go to the mikveh. And which mikveh would he go to? The freezing cold mikveh. He would go to the freezing mikveh.
I think we did Yutet yesterday.
Yeah, we did Yutet. We didn't finish. That's what we said. We're doing Yutet right now. And says Rabbeinu in the second paragraph, V'kon kach haya mutzna ba'avodato mibnei adam ad shepam echad halach lemikveh baboker b'choref. Now you understand, Rabbeinu was hiding. He was doing it only to know Hashem. Uba me'atfilah, he went to the mikveh in the middle of the night. Boch haba Mordechai. V'aperot hayu lachot me'amayim. When he came out, his hair was wet from the payas were wet from the moist from the mikveh. V'tamu alav ha'olam shebachoref yadam chofer prosho. And people said, what is happening to this kid? He's washing his head and going outside in the middle of the night? Like, who washes his head? You know, who walks out in the middle of the winter like that? They didn't understand he went to the mikveh. No idea that we're talking about a child that's going to be Rabbi Nachman of Breslev. רק סברו שחטף ראשו ותמו עליו, שחטף ראשו מהמקרות כזה. והם מחזיקים מזו למעשה נערות שלו, כי היה מוצנע מאוד מאוד בעבודתו. You know, kids do silly things sometimes. So they said it's a silly kid doing silly stuff, kid stuff. גם כל התעניתים, הרבים מאוד שהתענה, לא היה יודע מהם שום אדם בעולם. אפילו אביו ואמו וקרוביו, nobody knew, not his mother, not his father, who were tzaddikim on their own right. Rabbenu's Rebbe was his father.
But he had brothers?
He had brothers. He had two brothers. But his father was like his Rebbe, you know. And his father didn't know. And his father is Talmid Baal Shem Tov. His father is not Talmid Baal Shem Tov really. He was born, or no, he was Talmid Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov saw him and said, "I like this boy. I like this boy Simcha. I like him.
He made the shidduch.
I like that boy." He grew up in the house of Baal Shem Tov.
Yeah, you're right. He lost his father, no?
His grandfather was the Baal Shem Tov.
No, his great
Avenu's father Simcha is the grandson of Baal Shem Tov.
That's right.
No, it's not true. Avenu's father, no. Avenu's father Simcha is the son of the Talmid of Baal Shem Tov, Rav Nachman Odenker, and Simcha grew up in the house of the Baal Shem Tov, and he grew up raised by Adol, and so the Baal Shem Tov was there, and the Baal Shem Tov once saw the boy and said, "I like that boy. I like that boy." So Rabbenu's father is Tzaddik Yesod Olam. Even the story on the night that Rabbeinu was conceived, the story we're going to see the story on the night of conception, his avodah, what it was before he brought this neshama into the world. Because don't forget, the more you purify yourself, so the way he acted on that day. But his father and mother, whose mother is the Balat Ruach HaKodesh, Fega is the daughter of Adol, who Adol is not considered a daughter; it's considered a Talmid Baal Shem. She's on the level of the Talmidei of Baal Shem Tov. You know, you have women that can be great tzadkaniyot, but their place is not out in public. They're in private. But if you would have a mother like that, if you know, they said Rav Kenning's mother was like that. Rav Kenning's mother was Balat Ruach HaKodesh tzadika gdola bioter. And really, the way of the Rav Kenning that we knew him was more like his mother. Rabbi Ephraim is more like the father. But the Rav that we knew him, the adinut and everything was from his mother, tzadika gdola. So his mother and father, or tzaddikim yotzod olam, don't know what he's doing. They think he's playing games. Understand? Rak ishto levad hayta yodat mizeh. The only one you can't hide from is your wife. Vaya mashbiya.
She knows everything.
You can fool everybody.
Right, can't fool your wife.
Can't fool your wife.
ואין נסתר מחמתו. והיה משביע שלא תגלה לשום אדם. And he swore her. She made an oath she will tell nobody. והיה עושה כמה וכמה תחבולות נענים ונסתיר כל התעניתים שתענה באופן שלא ידע מהם איש. He made her swear she will not tell.
he made her swear, and he would do all kinds of things to fool people that he wasn't fasting. So we learn a lot of things here. You know that at the beginning of Likutei Moharan, Rabbi Natan writes a sentence, you got to remember it. That the Torot of Likutei Moharan, anybody who has honesty and no gava and looks at the Torot, understands, Lo mi beten melea ba'uenu. You can't write those on a full stomach. It's not on a full stomach and indulging that you can write these Torot. It can't be. So all the things, why is he doing that? Somebody, it's already a level. It's really a level to be sitting here and to say, wow. To say wow on this, you're on a big level. Because some people in the world will think that you're crazy to hear about this. They won't even understand that you will skip a meal. Why would you sleep on the floor? Why would you go in a cold mikveh? Everything is about the comfort and the me and my geschmack. Because they have not realized that there's a higher part of them, which is the soul. And so they're only focusing on the body. And there's not even a realization of spirituality. God made the world in such a way, it's the craziest thing. God is creating the world every second, and you can live a whole life without knowing about Him. It's crazy, not talking about Him, and even questioning He exists. Imagine He's giving you life every second, and people can question if He exists. So to be on the level to appreciate this means you're on a high level. But also to know from this, that the more, the Rab Chaim Vital writes an amazing thing. I think it's in Shar Gilguli. He writes that you have two parts of you. We spoke about this once. You have the soul and the body. How much of your soul is in your body? Well, it's the same as how much of your body is in your shoe. Right? You are in your shoe or you're outside of your shoe? Well, you're in your shoe. But 95% of you is on the outside of your shoe. But all of you are connected to your shoe. And when you move, your shoe is moving with you. But most of you is outside the shoe. Most of your soul is outside of your body. Makif. Higher levels.
Who says this comparison?
Rab Chaim Vital. Arizon. So most of your body is outside, most of your soul is outside your body. The little bit of soul that you have inside your body, it's like the little bit of body inside your shoe. And that's the lowest part, by the way. If you get a needle in your ankle, chas v'shalom, if a guy would get a needle in his brain, so the highest faculties you have are not at all in the body. That's why you are much greater than you know you are. You are. The tzaddik looks at you at what you really are on the shoulders, not at you like you are. So the tzaddik sees you as huge because you could be that. The problem is you have the body which is not allowing the soul to come in because it's too coarse. So Moshe Rabbeinu, when he comes to Har Sinai, it says Shal na'anechem al raglecha. Take off your shoes. When you go to the Beit Mikdash, take off your shoes. Why? Let me keep my shoes. It's a physical. Everything is metaphors. Everything is mashalim. So for you to understand that here we're taking off your shoe, because here we're letting the body, the neshama come in. So the experience in the Beit Mikdash is not a regular experience. And it's an experience of out-of-body experience when your neshama is fully involved in. That's why you take off the shoe in the Beit Mikdash. And Moshe Rabbeinu takes off the shoe when he sees the burning bush. It also means that the more that you take off the shoe, the more you allow the body to come in, the neshama to come in. So Rabbeinu took off the shoe. There's no shoe. There's no eating. There's no sleeping. There's no myself. And nobody knowing about it. Because you can do all these things. The biggest gava is to be anav. The Rabbeinu says that in Torah Chaf, I think. The biggest gava is to be anav, that other people should say you're anav. Are you so anav? I'm so anav. That's the biggest gava. To be anav, that other people should say I'm anav. The biggest ta'ava is to fast to get the kavod of other people. So you're fasting, but so the other people should say, Sadiq, wow. Rabbeinu did everything you shouldn't do that on him. And even later when he became Mifusam, how did he continue that? By making himself machloket. By allowing that there should be machloket on him, Rabbeinu, and from Shamayim putting machloket on him, that was allowing him to still be the same Astara. Because everybody's going to say, c'est Brestev, c'est Defu. But really, it's Dal Yavodah. So there's a big inyan. That's what Rabbeinu said, I give you a gift. That if you're going to be under me, when you're going to do Haya Avodot, people will say, c'est Brestev. And if you would be in any other shul, in any other chassid, it's then tzaddik suda. But you're in Breslev Sedifu. It's the same thing. Rabbeinu did that. So here you learn two things. Don't think you'll lose. By giving up something physical, you gain spiritual. For sure.
Is that why at some kibbutz people take off their shoes?
Yeah, in Chabad, they take off the shoe by the kever.
Yeah.
Same kind of idea, you know? Like we're going to a holy place, take off the shoe. And second thing is, the less people know what you're doing, the more the effect you get. Because otherwise there's always a yetzer hara and there's always a fear that you're doing it for the biggest tava, which is kavod. So do things quiet. That being said, sometimes you need to do things out in the open to get other people, to rally other people. So for example, in Nechot Tzedakah, it's written, don't tell people your donations. But if you're going to be at a gala and you're going to say, I'm giving, and you else is going to give, and then you get everybody else to give, so now you put aside you're doing it for the better cause, that's allowed. Even Rabbeinu himself, at a certain point, he revealed himself, and he stopped being hidden in order to help Klal Yisrael. Okay, so what is the takeaway? Don't be scared of, and by the way, we said many times, don't go too fast in these things. I had friends, we were going to yeshiva, they put on hats and beards, and in 2 weeks, don't go too fast. But don't not move, and don't go down. Take away a little bit of the gashmiut slowly, on your level, you know? On your level, a little bit. Nobody can realize it. You only realize it. And that will help you bring in more than the neshama, and if the neshama is in, you're not, you understand where the Arizal got to, where Hamid got to? You know, you would think, what a misken life, Rabbeinu, he's fasting, he's in the cold mikveh, he's waking up chatzot. It's hard to wake up chatzot, right? It's break the body. What a misken, you could sleep, you're comfortable, you have 2 pillows, and you wake up and you're tired. What do you think you're going to lose? You're not going to lose. You're going to get the biggest tanug is of the neshama. Chazak Abo.